So this is my lava golem, not lava golem, this is my Volcanic Tempest OTK 4.0. This one uses the reversal quiz. This is the one I currently been running for the past couple months. So I got 3 lava golems, 3 grinders. This allows me to take 3,000 points of damage, so that way I can play in front of Tempest. Right, play in front of Tempest. Remove all the monsters from the deck and the graveyard from both players. Use DD Dynamite. You want to use at least 2, or because 1 DD Dynamite will potentially deal close to 6,000, or if it only deals 4,500. The way for it to deal 6,000, your opponent will have to banish 20 monsters. If your opponent only has 15 monsters and you banish only 15 monsters, your opponent will only take 4,500. You would need a second DD Dynamite to deal the other 4,500. So that would be 9,000. Or 2 6,000, that's 12,000. More than enough to kill your opponent. You essentially need 2 DD Dynamites to OTK your opponent, right, to beat them. So that's one of the main OTKs, and there's to take 3,000 in front of Tempest DD Dynamite. But I also have Reversal Quiz. Reversal Quiz, you want to combo this with Lava Golem and Volcanic counters. Because Lava Golem will deal your opponent 1,000 damage during his standby phases, of course. And Volcanic counter, when you take battle damage, your opponent takes damage equal to that, to the damage you've taken by banishing Volcanic counter, and making sure you have a fire in the graveyard for it to resolve, and your opponent will take damage. If you have more than 1 Volcanic counter in the graveyard, this effect will stack from 1 attack. So if you take, 1 attack by like a monster with 4,000 attack, and you have 2 Volcanic counters in the graveyard with another 5 monster in the graveyard, both counters will activate from that 1 attack, and your opponent will take the damage for each Volcanic counters, and the Volcanic counters do not miss the timings. I was in a duel and somebody was trying to question it, like, oh, I think one of them missed the timing. I was like, no, they don't miss the timing. Their effects do stack off of the 1 attack, because these effects are not, you don't choose. They're not when something happens, you can. No, these are, you take damage, you banish them, period. And each and every one of them triggers from 1 individual attack. So once you take the battle damage, the Volcanic counters, they all trigger, and they all deal damage equal to how much you've taken. So if you have 2 or more, obviously that doubles or triples the damage to your opponent. So you want to take roughly, 2,700? 2,700. You want to take at least 2,700 and have 3 Volcanic counters, and that will be over 8,000. So you want to take at least 2,700 points of damage from 1 attack, and you have all 3 Volcanic counters banished for that. But if you take, something like, you take 4,000, you have 2 Volcanic counters, you'll win with that. If you, take 7,000 points of damage and use 1 Volcanic counter, and your opponent has a Lava Golem, for example, he'll just die from Lava Golem's effect or something like that, right? Or if your opponent's weak, just attacking you, like let's say he only has 3,000 life points and you have 3,100, he attacks you for 3,000, he'll die before he even gets a second attack, right? And that has happened numerous times for me, where somebody will attack and they'll end up killing themselves. It's like, oh, yeah, you don't get to your next attack. They'll be like, oh, I attack all my monsters. Wait, you have to attack 1 at a time. Oh, I attack with this one. Oh, well, you just lost. You should attack with your weakest monster first. That's how you can avoid getting killed by a Volcanic counter, is by attacking with your weakest monster. So that way you take a little bit of damage to survive, and then attack all your big strong monsters. But most people have a habit of attacking with big monsters, which is their flaw, and I take advantage of that. Battle Fader. Hand traps, gotta have the hand traps. Plus with the whole grinder golem, lava golem thing, where they won't let you summon or set the turn you summon. Well, you can special summon if you can't normal summon, or set any monsters the turn you summon grinder golem, lava golem. So if I tribute 2 monsters my opponent has on this side of the field, it has very powerful effects to get on lava golem. Typically I'll be defenseless, but with with Battle Fader I won't be, because at least I can negate the battle phase with Battle Fader if they don't have a warning or something of that nature. Of course, I already explained what kind of counters. I take damage, they get banished mandatorily, and my opponent takes damage if I have a fire monster still in the graveyard when Volcanic counters effects activate. Fire King Avatar Kirin, when it's destroyed by battle card effect, it lets me send one fire monster from my deck to the graveyard. Obviously, this is how I get the counter Volcanic counters to the graveyard. Another way is just setting them and let my opponent kill them. Another way is to discard them for card effects, of course. Mariner Mites, these allow me to steal zombies or fiend type monsters until the end of the turn, and they can only be activated during my turn by discarding them. This comes in handy when I tribute 2 monsters to my opponent, so I feel like give them Lava Golem, for example. Then I steal the Lava Golem back, attack them for 3,000 points of damage. Then I end my turn, they'll get Lava Golem back. During their standby, they'll take 1,000, that's 4,000 points of damage, just that combo alone. It's a 2-card combo, and your opponent loses 4,000 points of damage. Can't go wrong with that. If you set it up right, you could drop a Lava Golem on their side field, drop a Grinder Golem, right? You have 2 Mariner Mites, you steal Grinder and Lava Golem, attack for 6,000 points of damage. End your turn, they'll get back Grinder and Lava Golem. During their standby phase, they'll take 1,000 for Lava Golem's effect. They'll take 1,000 for Lava Golem's effect, and that's 7,000 in total. So, you know, if they already took damage for like a Marshmallow or something, or a Volcanic counter effect, or even from a Lava Golem earlier in the duel, you could, you know, you can beat them that way. So there's a couple different ways you can, you know, deal a lot of damage and beat your opponent. Of course, stealing both Lava Golem, Grinder Golem, attacking for 6,000, and then main phase 2 overlaying and making something, you know, like Heliopolis or Felgrand or any rank 8 of your choosing, you know, can't go wrong with that. Because at least he doesn't get the monsters back and have big monsters to attack you with. And being able to deal 6,000 in one turn is always good. Quick Draw Synchron also comes in handy if you can set it up with that combo, because you can potentially OTK your opponent. Because you just need Quick Draw and a card to discard for him. Use the 2 tokens Grinder Golem creates, and you can make a 7-star Synchro or a 6-star Synchro. It requires a Synchron monster in order to create. Like Drill Warrior is a 6-star, 2,400 6-star monster, or 1,400 Junk Gardener, but you obviously want to go for the higher attack. But there's also, if you can manage to get the ability to create Junk Destroyer, you know, you can OTK your opponent with that. If you can make Junk Archer, you can make Junk Archer. I don't use Archer in this deck. You know, you could also make this if you can make 8 Chevalier of the Flare. Unknown Synchron. This is good for XYZ plays, Synchro plays. Good when you drop grind, you tribute 2 monsters in front side of the field to give them Lava Golem, because you can special summon Unknown Synchron. Attack, take 3,000 points now, then play Infernal Tempest to devastate your opponent's deck. Use CD Dynamites to end them out. Marshmallow, because it's good defense, stall for the win, right? Plus it deals burn damage, that comes in handy. Too weak here, put it. Especially if you use Marshmallow and Lava Golem in combination, where you'll set the Marshmallow first, your opponent tries to attack. Marshmallow will effect will activate, deal them 1,000, then it's your turn, you'll tribute 2 of their monsters, give them Lava Golem, and your turn, they'll take 1,000, so that's 2,000 took already. They can't do much of anything, you'll just stall and slowly burn them with Lava Golem. Also, he has 300 attacks. He's a 3-star. You can use him with the Breeze Dragon, go into a Black Rose play. You know, you can use him with any other 3-star overlay and make Zen main. You can stall and pop cards on the field at the same time, you know, to set up your OTKs. I sometimes like to use Marshmallow after my strategy is, after I get Marshmallow's effect off, I tend to summon a Volcanic counter overlay and make a Zen main. You know Zen main is a fire type. Make Zen main in defense, of course. And if my opponent does stuff like card effects or tries to destroy him by battle or something like that, obviously I can activate his effect, detach Marshmallow first, use Zen main's effect, and if Zen main ever gets defeated, that's cool because since he's fire and Volcanic counter when I take damage, Volcanic counter will vanish, and since Zen main is fire, Volcanic counter's effect will resolve and my opponent will take damage equal to the damage I've taken from an attack. So that's one of my little strategies, my little combos I like to play. Because, you know, Zen main is fire, so it helps me set up the good stuff. Magical Merchant. Obviously my deck is about 90% monsters, so this helps me dump half my deck to the grave, because I'm trying to get the Volcanic counters to the grave in the first place anyway. And it helps me get to my spells and traps, you know, which is Reversal Quiz. That's the win condition right there. Infernal Tempest can pretty much just shut down a lot of decks. You could just win against what they call it, Light Swarms. Just banish all their monsters. There's not much they can do. They definitely can't drop JD. And you know, you got Marshmallows and Battle Faders. You can stall a lot harder than they can, and they'll just deck themselves out because they're largely monster based, just like this deck is monster based. Heat Dynamite, for anything that's banished, obviously you deal damage to 300 damage for every remove from play card your opponent controls. So this is burn card, the Breeze Dragon. So you can go into your Black Rose plays, you can go into your Scrap Dragon play, you can make Hot Red Dragon Archfiend if you combo it with Battle Fader. But yeah, that's when you combo with Battle Fader. Of course, this eventually will get errated, so you can use level 4s to make Synchron and stuff. I mean, not Synchron, so you can make Stardust and stuff, right? So you can Synchron into level 8s with, you know, level 4 when they errata it. It's like a Magician, stall for the win. Wind up Zen main, stall for the win. Exiton because he's broken. Plus you want to clear the back row because you notice there's no Beta MSTs or Geki Break, the usual stuff that I use to pop back row. Since there's no back row hate directly in the deck, spell or trap base, I have to go with monster base back row destruction. So that's where Exiton and Black Rose come into play to get rid of that back row. Here's one Wind Up Arsenal Zen Mail again to pop back rolls, so that's why he's in there. You can make him with 2 quick draws. There you go, with 2 quick draws. They'll pull this in case you steal somebody's Grappa or something, and you have a Lava Golem on your side field or something, in case a creature swapped it to your side field or something like that. Or you took the Lava Golem for the side of the field and then took their Grappa. You can overlay or whatever. However way things turn out, you can obviously go into Heliopolis. Or if you synchro into a Scrap or something and drop a Lava Golem the following turn. Formula, Synchron. Lets me draw. It's always good. Comes in handy when I do the Formula Synchron combo, where I special summon Formula Synchron. Let's say while my opponent has a monster, then I drop Grinder Golem, which makes 2 tokens, and they'll be in attack mode. I have Unknown Synchron in defense. I tribute Grinder and one of my opponent's monsters. Give him Lava Golem. That's what I typically do. Give him Lava Golem. But I don't have to. I could just stay with the Grinder. Right? I attack with one of the tokens to Lava Golem, take 3,000 points of damage, which will allow me to play Infernal Tempest. Right? And then I will, after the influence of his resolves and all the monsters are banished from the decks and graveyard, go main phase to use my second token plus unknown synchro, make formula synchron, and it'll let me get, and I'll draw on any of these. Preferably you want to get the, you already have one in the hand, so you have 2D damage, so you can OTK your opponent with it. But if not, you can do the reversal quiz thing, and try to take the 50 chance that what's in your deck is a spell or a trap. You want to do that, depending on how things turn out. And I sometimes like using Mariner Might to step back Golem or Grinder Golem that I gave my opponent, right? Bring it back to my side of the field, use Formula Synchron and the Grinder or Lava Golem, and go into 10-star Synchro, which I have here is Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Trees, obviously. 3100 that can't be targeted on this main phase 2. So yeah, I love that. There's Lead Stick. Black Rolls, of course, for the Breeze combo. Snapdragon helps me get rid of back row, and anything else I need to get rid of. Hot Red Dragon Arch can get rid of. Especially my opponent tried to DK me, I just like battle fake. I'm doing the Breeze, bring back Marshmallow, Synchro, Hot Red's effect, get rid of all your monsters you try to OTK me with and attack you for 3,000. If I end up in a scenario where I get my Lava Golem and I special Synchron, then I discard Mariner Might and steal my Lava Micro into Giga Gang Castle. Give me a second to get this back up and running. I hate when the shit times out. Come on, this is the wrong time for this to happen. There's Gigant Castle, of course, Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Trees. There goes Drill Warrior for you to use with your any 1-star non-tuner, including your Grinder Golem tokens, and Quick Draw Synchron, and of course, the ability to make a 2400. You can attack directly by happening to attack. You could also discard a card to banish them from play, so that way next turn, Hell Special Summon, you can grab any card from your graveyard, any monster from your graveyard, add it back to your hand. That comes in handy in case you want to get back a Battle Fader. Also good for helping get Volcanic counters to the graveyard. And setting your opponent up for big loss, right? Junk Gardener, good for keeping Lava Golem and Grinder Golem at bay. So you can stall, defend yourself long enough to OTK your opponent. Junk Gardener helps you get rid of any card on the field, especially back row. Use a 3-star monster like Marshmallow or Volcanic counter with Quick Draw, of course. And let's say you discard a Volcanic counter, so you end up with 2 Volcanics in the graveyard, and you end up creating Destructive Destroyer. Pop something on the field, attack for 2600 points of damage, preferably. You could also go into Chevalier de Fleur. Since during your turn, it's a 2700 Shien, Legendary 600 Shien. There's one for turn during your turn. You can stop a spell or trap and negate and destroy it. So that comes in handy when you're trying to attack and you don't want a Mirror Force or something like that, or even a Magic Cylinder or something like that. Smack you in the face, right? You don't want your opponent to stop you from doing your combos and winning. Or you can do a thing where you make Chevalier, then you play reversal quiz. And if they have a response for reversal quiz or something, or they try to chain something to it, you can just negate it with her effect, and then let reversal quiz resolve, and you can just do what you gotta do. Always choose monster with the reversal quiz, because obviously you have a monster case deck.